Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. I'm going to be your caster, Bahamut. On the left-hand side, we got the members of RewinD, and on the right is going to be the members of gillyShark. These are our top two teams within the Division A, and this is our final week of regulation play for the Heroic Division and the Division A. Everyone else in B, C, and D are all currently in their playoffs, so we'll be checking out some of those games tomorrow night. But right now, we got ourselves a wonderful, wonderful best-of-3 match coming up, and I'm sure you're sitting at home and you just tier 1 subscribe to the channel, and your name is Day, and you're wondering how we got to this map. Don't worry, I got you. The home team this evening is going to be the members of RewinD. They lost the coin flip, giving first pick priority over to gillyShark. Yes, in a turn of events, in a great turn of events, the members of gillyShark have won a coin flip. They opted for first pick priority, banning out Towers of Doom and Battlefield of Eternity. Cursed Hollow and Sky Temple were banned out by the members of RewinD, and they opted to take us to Alterac Pass for game number 1. Let's go ahead and get back into our draft and see what this draft is going to be, as it is already unfolding in front of our faces. Also, Day, Siege, Ryokai, 8-year-olds, just everybody, thanks for coming by. I'm here to see the best Phoenix in North America. Ooh. Day, thank you. Seriously, thank you again for the tier 1 subscription. I really appreciate the support, my friend. And thank you, Cat Peach, for the spooky worm. I hope you're all having wonderful, wonderful evenings. We do see a Junkrat and Joanna band on the left-hand side, taking out that chest looter, Junkrat, and just the strong force that is Joanna being able to walk into the front line. Looks like they have done their homework, knowing that Jinxie Cat is playing tonight and plays a very, very strong Joanna. We do have a Lucio and Uther being banned out from the members of RewinD. Looks like they've done some research as well, as they are a main tank Uther team, and we've seen that in the past from them, or at least members of gillyShark have. I don't know if I've gotten to cast enough RewinD this season. I feel like I haven't got to catch them very much, but Dahaka is going to be banned out once again, doing some homework and gonna get rid of Zergy monsters. Okay, yeah. I for some reason I was just like, am I adding monster? Is it Zergy just in game? No, we're gonna be seeing Zergy monster getting their Dahaka banned out. And this Jaina, I do believe, is going to be towards the side of Chaotic. Chaotic Order well, if you know them from Twitch chat or previous seasons and stuff like that, or even Tespa Collegiate Series in the spring, Chaotic, who's currently playing the Falstad, or at least is on them, is Chaotic Order, a very, very strong Dorm player, and I'm hoping to see them once again in the upcoming season that starts this Saturday, Sunday. Don't you miss out. Saturday, Sunday, we're starting Tespa Collegiate Series once again. I believe that starts at noon PDT, 3 o'clock EDT, and everywhere else in between. Sylvanas, Stukov, Greymane on the right-hand side, and we get a Rexar and an ETC. So Rexar is going to be kind of floating around in that solo lane, going to be able to grab camps on their own. Sylvanas has great push power. Stukov has really good point control. Greymane and ETC can dive and potentially blow players up extremely well together, and Sylvanas is strong in that right as well. We do have a Raynor, Tyrande, Falstad, and an Arthas on the left-hand side, picking up a couple of the gillyShark, standards, Combo Tripson's Tyrande. We have Arthas, played by Jinxie Cat often, but this last pick coming out, they're going to need something in more of that front line, so we're going to be able to take that out right there. We'll be playing Dorm with Chaotic. Will you really, Starcaller? Awesome. That's good news. All right, I'll have to make sure that I let them know. What's your school under? Sorry that I don't know that off the top of my head, but what's your school under? Because that way at least I'll get a message over to production and let them know that I would at least like to catch a couple of your games on the main screen. But yes, Pog slides in chat for the Misha Bear as we go ahead and we'll load into this in just a second. Thank you all so much again for hanging out and checking out these games. We only have one match this evening. It's a bit of a shorter stream tonight. A bit worn out from the long weekend. Weird enough to say, I actually did a lot of housework, and I pulled all the muscles in my body being in the attic for 2 hours. I was like Sunday rolled around, Monday rolled around, and it was the day after I was doing housework, and I was like, oh, this isn't so bad. And then I woke up this morning and all of my bones hurt. Yo, Ghost Stone, thank you for the resubscription, 9 months. Thank you so much for all the support, my friend. Also, if you don't listen to the Magic Tavern, you should. Ghost Dunk does editing for it, and it is
go RewinD.
Perfect. All right, with that, let's go ahead and get into our game. On the left-hand side, we got the members of RewinD. We're going to be having Ryokai going to be on the Raynor. Doom Elite is going to be on the Arthas. Do You Think is going to be on the... I can't see who you're on. Is that Arthas? No. Yes? No. Who are you? We'll have... So who do you think is going to maybe be on... I can't tell what it is. Chaotic is going to be on the... Falstad, so Do You Think is on the Tyrande. Fate is going to be on the Tyrael. There we go. We finally managed to do it. On the right-hand side, we got the members of gillyShark. We're going to be seeing Zergy Monster on the Rexar. Chesler is going to be on the Greymane. We have Kaimo Chipson going to be on the Stukov. Jinxie Cat is going to be on the ETC, and Kage will be on the Sylvanas. Boy, I'm just missing all of, like, I looked at all these and I was like, I can't I can't figure it out. Also, side note, when we were getting into the lobby, both teams decided to use the exact same portrait, and so it was very, very fun to decide on what side players were going to be. Luckily, I've seen enough of their names, and I'm just like, all right, you're not on this team, and I know you're not on that team. But we are going to be going ahead and just continuing, or at least getting into some of our rotations in this early game, and I just wanted to get this set up. Actually, we're going to be having a dive onto Ryokai in this top lane. Chess leader, can they get the Worgen form there? It's going to be the dive in, and they managed to pick up the first blood of the game on the side of gillyShark. And we can see that this early game experience isn't a ton, but it does remove someone from the lane and forces that false dead to fly up as well. Now they're going to be rotating back down here. Who do you think is going to have to play a little bit closer to the gate if they're a little worried about maybe getting ganked on? Let's actually jump over to someone who doesn't have a quest in town, just get vision for them and see how they're kind of playing out these lanes as they did lose that first player. We also see that there was the Sentinel coming out, so they will be able to have vision of the Greymane going for that camp, and they'll grab it themselves. And this is something that I'll always highlight on a map like this. This camp pops up at the 1 minute mark, and grabbing it immediately when that pops up means that you potentially will be able to get it coming back up right before the objective spawns. And the reason being is because it's a 1 minute 30 timer on the camp, so once this finishes out, if you're able to get it done before the 1 minute 30 mark in game, then it will obviously pop up before 3 minutes, and then you'll be able to get that and push that into lane as the objective pops up. We will be probably seeing this picked up regardless. A lot of players often do still just ignore the first objective for a little bit, grab this camp and have that mid lane pressure. It's often like how you see players go for the shaman camps on Infernal Shrines or Battlefield of Eternity. Those shaman camps left to their own devices will get a ton of value. ETC with this huge power slide, no knockback, going to be saving that for when they actually start to step up, and I do like that right there. If you're an ETC and you're trying to just zone the enemy team or even force them back or just put a little bit of pressure onto them, power sliding forward and not immediately using your knockback is a great tool, because then when you're actually walking away and they're stepping further forward onto you, you can then use the knockback to force them away and make a clean disengage. As I said before, first objective is going to be popping up in just a second. We will be getting the announcement right here, and this is going to be in the top lane portion of the map. Misha and Rex are down in this bottom lane. I'm curious to see how long they'll hang out down here. We do have a Falstad in this top lane, and the flight should be up and available for them, so they will be able to fly in and go for the jump on this camp. But since they're not in bottom lane, this is an easy rotation for the global. Typically, you'd want to have that Falstad down here. But I think they're just going to bank on the fact that Rexar is going to leave this. That's what I would guess, but we'll see if that's going to be the case here. Yo, Starcaller, thank you for using your Twitch Prime here. I really appreciate that. Working on 309 now. Nice, Ghost Dunk. Smurro was left up and Stark didn't take it. I wonder why. Yo, Stark, how's it going, bud? My observation skills are suboptimal. Oh, Stark, I hope you're feeling all right, bud. I'm just assuming that's the reason you're calling it your coffin. Just tuning in what I miss. Monkus, how you doing, bud? You haven't really missed out on too much. We had a pretty good draft. We have an Arthas here. We do have both these teams getting into that first phase for this first objective. So overall, you missed some targeted bans coming out from both sides against said players. They both did their research into each other, so this should be a really, really good matchup. This is our first and second seeded teams within Division A. That could change tonight. I looked at the standings. There's like a 1 map loss difference between these two teams or something like that. Like, it's a minute difference between our first seed and second seed currently for the Nexus Gaming Series Division A. But this is going to be gillyShark stepping up onto the first objective, going for this. And they do have the 7 talent here on both sides, and they might have been dawdling a little bit behind on the side of RewinD to just make sure they pick that up. It seems like it's pretty close, but there were a couple members who didn't finish out didn't pick up their 7s right away. But we're gonna pull away the talents as they do want to try and, it looks like they want to try and take an engagement, but they're gonna back off for now. Misha Bear gonna get pulled back over to the right hand side of the map, and mid lane's gonna be cleared out now that it's really starting to push forward in favor for gillyShark. But they get that clear out, and they'll have their own wave kind of stacking out, and gillyShark, as you can see, are gonna play by the gate, and they'll be able to get this clear easy with, ooh, you can see Cat going for the power slide right there, trying to get onto Ryokai a little bit. That is going to be the Frost Presence coming, or excuse me, the Howling Blast coming out from the Arthas. The Frost Presence is that level 1 that they do have 3 stacks out of the 20, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And they also did go for Frozen Tempest at level 2, or excuse me, level 4 as well. They'll be needing 150 stacks on Frozen Wastes. Excuse me. Frozen Waste. Frozen Tempest is the actual ability itself, but this is going to be a mid lane engagement that's still dragging out right now. Doom Elite is trying to get more stacks on said Frost Presence. Frozen Waste. I don't know, like, I read it and then it's just like potato brain. W build on Sylvanas. Looks like they want to go for a little bit more damage as well coming out from the Savannah. So let's actually look through some of the other numbers right now. We've seen talents for quite some time. Let's look at the damage, healing, and the experience coming in for these teams. Let's actually jump into bottom lane as well. As I thought that Misha Bear was going to be stepping up onto Chaotic, but it seems like they're just going to be going for the clear back and forth. This will be the channel in favor for RewinD. They do know that there's going to be the Misha and the Rex are down there. Ryokai taking a lot of damage from Kage right now, but they end up backing off just fine. They're just going to add more stacks in to the Unfurling Shadows really quickly. They got 14, and it's not a ton right now. That's only 7% because it's 0.5% per stack, so you can just half that number every single time, and that'll be your total percent increased. So that as the game does progress, and as this build does progress, Kage can be a damaging force, but a huge Howling Blast coming out from Doom Elite. They're trying to step further forward, but Fate is actually being forced away by Chest Looter, and now Combo Trips in kind of the same situation, almost mounts into that, the direction of the Lunar Flare right there, but Greymane goes down, and they pick up their first kill on the side of RewinD. It's 1-1 in kills so far, and that will be the Banshees to get right out of there. Jinxie Cat might have a power slide in just a second, but it doesn't look like it, as the ETC will be going down as well. 10 Talontiers right around the corner, and RewinD looking to pick up first objective. Need another 21 seconds of channel time, but with the 2 dead, I think they might be able to get this. They might be able to force the moment. ETC's not too far off, but it's just a little bit risky. Also, they do have the Misha and Rexar combo in bottom lane, so they're not really... and they were showing in lane too. It's not like they were being sneaky about it. They will rotate up, and I think this is more or less for the defense at this point. Grouping. Oh, no, they're actually going to go back down, so they're going to be going for the defense into bottom lane. There might have just been a last-second call to try and rotate up and go for the objective, but this is going to be RewinD stepping further forward in this mid lane, as they do have first objective coming down in their favor. 10 Talontiers is going to be here for both these teams as well. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Cursed Bullet for the Greymane, not going to be going for any sort of go for the throat. And with the Arthas as well as the Tyrael being able to do 40% of their current maximum health pool is a great engage tool. I mean, right, 40%? Yeah, 40% of their current, and it's current as well. So if Fate is, sitting at half health, it's 40% of that half health, which is not what you're looking for. But we do have that mosh pit for the ETC, and I was thinking that Jinxie Cat was looking for a mosh right there, but they end up getting picked off as the Stuk-off Flailing Swipe is going to be a little bit too late, and that's going to be the false step with the Gust forward, as well as being able to get the Sanctification. Chest Looter might be in a bad spot as Greymane does get picked out. The mid lane fort will be going down as well, and they step further forward into this. That's going to be the Greymane, or excuse me, Zergy Monster in this bottom lane. Just Greymane, yeah, no, that's totally not even close. But we do have Zergy Monster in that bottom lane, still pushing that back and getting that clear, and making sure the objective doesn't stack up too much down there. As top lane looks like it's going to get some value. I don't think it will take down the fort, but they want to make that happen, as they're going to be rotating up here, and they should be able to confirm it with all 5 up here. Getting this push, it looks like the members of gillyShark are going to have to play a little bit further back right now and play this a little bit slower, a little bit safer, as the aggression coming out from the members of RewinD is a little bit too much. ETC went Mosh. That's a bold move. Well, we're going to be seeing the Mosh come out right there as they get the pick onto the Tyrael, who's going to be trying to get the passive explosion onto a couple members. Doesn't get a whole lot of damage right there. Jinxie Cat a little bit low. Chaotic was able to get quite a bit of damage onto them, but they do end up getting that pick off onto the Tyrael, which... quite a few things were used right there to get that pick, but it wasn't like there's a whole massive amount of cooldowns for them. We're seeing 10 seconds for the Greymane, 22 for the Sylvanas. I think that Wailing Arrow was used way earlier because it's a 90-second cooldown, but I know Curse Bullet's very, very short, so pretty much we're going to be seeing, it was probably the Boars as well. Excuse me. There we go. I know how to find things. But yeah, they burned quite a few heroics for that, but getting the pick right there and just kind of getting themselves a little bit more map control and getting themselves back here to be able to grab objective, push in the lanes, this is really where they want to be, as the Sentinel will be coming up once again for the members of RewinD, and right into Zergy Monster in the bush as well. I wish I was actually showing the vision of who do you think. But we also are going to be getting to the 13 talent here for the members of RewinD, and this is also going to be mid lane getting pushed in right now. We see some danger pings coming out as Chest Looter are going to be rotating down right now, and those pings are going to be coming out from the left-hand side. Trying to find someone who doesn't have a questing talent right there, and they're pushing in further on the side of gillyShark. They still have a little bit of this objective, or excuse me, this camp pushing in, but they'll just back off. They don't want to stay here any longer. And our next objective shouldn't be too far off. A note on said objective is that it will be the second one of the game, meaning it's going to be increasing its total charge time or channel time necessary from... Sorry, I'm watching this right now as they were kind of sitting in the bush. I was wondering if they're going to try and dive onto Kage if they came a little too far out, and that was probably the play, but they still stepped further forward into the lane. But it's just going to add 10 seconds to that total time. So the first one's 30, second one's 40, fifth one, excuse me, third one is going to be 50, and then on so forth. So the fifth one will be 50 seconds, but we are going to be just seeing that 10-second increase every single time up until the third camp. Speaking of camps, we do have Siege Camp on the right-hand side up and available in 10 seconds, and the left side not too far off either. A little bit of a fight breaking out. Sentinel going to be coming into the top lane as they're trying to get a pick onto Zergy. I don't know if they're going to be able to do this. The boars are up and available, and I'm wondering if they're just trying to get that heroic off of them. They don't end up getting the kill, but Zergy will have to go ahead and go back full for that. Now, while they were showing two in top lane, they could have stepped further forward on the side of gillyShark, but might have been a little bit risky with the availability of Falstad having that flight, and they'll bribe away the camp and steal it before the gillyShark can grab it. That's such a great play coming out from RewinD right there, and Phage is going to be diving around as well, maybe trying to play that lane a little bit aggressive, but this is going to be the clear onto the camp. Oh, that was such a good steal coming out from that Falstad as well. Chaotic with that. They're also going to be sitting on how many? 35% increased on this lightning rod bonus damage. And now with that kind of keeping the members of gillyShark a little busy right there, they will be able to grab the initial channel onto this. Seems like the jailers, okay, they get the stall time as well, but they dive in with Fade right there. That's going to be the silence out from the Stukov as well. If anyone steps further forward, Grayman with the Curse Bolt as well. ETC with the Mosh Pit, and that power slide was so good, but the flailing swipe from the Stukov is actually going to save them right there. Oh, the Doom Elite had like 10 health. And the flailing swipe just saved them. Power slide once again from the ETC, but that's going to be the Sanctification this time. It wasn't like there was another mosh pit up and available, but that is also going to be Sanctification used right there. Just about every heroic was used in that battle, and it looks like we are going to be seeing a DC potentially from one of the players. We'll see if they end up going for the pause, but either way, this is going to be Kage trying to get some damage out right there, getting a lot of stacks. Falstad's the first one to go down. We do see them stepping further forward into this, and that's going to be Ryokai trying to make their way out. Kage chasing into this. They get the channel to stop it at 11 seconds left, and there's going to be our pause. We'll pull it back to us. Bandit apparently doesn't want to do draft analysis tonight. Where's my Bandit bud? I can hear him coming. What, you think we don't have to do stream stuff tonight? He might be sitting by the door because there's been a lot of bear activity outside. Oh. Goliath, what's up? Thanks for coming by as well. Chaotic's internet as usual. Ouch. Kaimo with the save on RewinD. Yeah. That was surprising. Sorry, DC. Waiting for ping to drop. All good. Sorry for killing him. Didn't realize. Look at that. Look at that good sportsmanship coming out from these players. Just like, hey, sorry we killed your Falstad player who DC'd. That's a little BM of us. Oh, we got time. Oh, of course, like, I'll do this, like... Okay. I thought they were saying they're ready to go. Want one of these, bud? Hi! You have a high five? Oh, boy! Yo, Delta! Thank you for the tier 1 subscription, for the 8 months of support. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Subscribed. All right, we're ready to get into it, so let's go back into the game. Alrighty, we're back into this. We gave them the 3, 2, 1 countdown. Let's go ahead and see what happens. Falstad's back into the game. We're going to be going for our channel right now. Once again, Delta, thank you so much for the subscription. I very much appreciate it. And yeah, treats of course for Bandit. That's how we're gonna kill our DC time. Like, we could talk about draft analysis, what the current happenings are in the game, and what they can do to change this up for either team, or we could just give Bandit treats. Bandit is champ? Yeah, Envy. I agree. This is going to be channel so far for gillyShark. They do have some of these guards stalling it out, and I think so they won't get the stall time, but they will be able to get the channel, and that will be the camp stopped at 16 seconds left. So we're getting close here. Misha's going to be targeted. That's going to be the Howling Blast. Everything, well, not everything, but quite a few things used right there as they do get the pickup onto the bear. And that's also going to push them closer into their 16s, which is definitely something they want to have as an advantage. Who do you think is going for the channel right now? Chestlitter gets the Cursed Bullet as the interrupt. Wailing Arrow comes out from the Sylvanas as well. The Banshees are going to come forward. Doom Elite will be the target. Chestlitter looking to get someone right there. Doom Elite will be that target. Flailing Swipe once again to force them back. That's going to be the Starfall from the Tyrande out as well. Not a whole lot of things are up and available. Gust for the Falstad if they can get into this, maybe a flight into the backline, but they need to poke out on this. They don't want to have that channel go forward because getting the counter channel into this once it's fully procced is going to be a little difficult. They do potentially sacrifice. They sacrifice the Misha Bear for it, and I think now that they're not able to do anything with it, and they're going to have to give it over, and that will be second objective Well, we'll see. I'm not going to call it just yet. Let's actually pull away the talents and see if they're able to get this. They need to get someone onto that point to get the stall timer, and this is what I was talking about was so difficult, but that's going to be the Falstead with the Gus as the ETC Mosh comes out. They go for another knockback as they step further forward. Huge Howling Blast coming out from the Arthas right there as Kage tries to go for the juke and ends up getting picked off. There was a Sanctification, and Misha Bear is back into the Zerky so very low, gets taken out by the Lunar Flare. Power Slide from Jinxie Cat. Howling Blast onto 2, and now we have Fade body blocking the gate, but they end up getting back over to their friendly team, and objective will be coming through the lanes as mid lane. As I said, this is why you want to grab this right as the objective pops up, because it gets you so much value if left uncontested. The armor reduction onto the keeps just allows the team to shred right through it, and with that, they want to try and end the game. There's 2 dead on the side of gillyShark, but they're going to do what a lot of teams... Oh, actually, okay. I was going to say they're doing what a lot of teams don't do, which is back up and go for the objective, but I think they're trying to go for as much structure value right now, open themselves up a little bit further on this map. They do have shielding on this on the core right now, so it gets 20 spell armor and 20 physical armor per keep that's up and available. That's why we're seeing 40 right now, and if we go over to this side, it's 60 and 60. This is going to be potentially falling down if they are able to get the top lane keep for them against the members of gillyShark. Or I guess, yeah. gillyShark's core is going to be losing 20 armor. There we go. Spell armor and physical armor if they were able to get that top lane keep. But they forced them back, and it's going to be 16 to 17, 6 to 3 in our kills, and we do have bottom lane objective being cleared out, and gillyShark going to be resetting the map right now as we get closer into our... Like, the later half of this game, I wouldn't say is snowballing so much as that, like, if you can get the objective, you can really start to push in this later half of the game. I thought the Mosh was a bit bold for their comp. Should have taken Shove. Surprised they didn't go stage dive with the Falstead. Shove is generally super nice on Alterac. Okay. Boston top lane is going to be picked off. Boston bottom lane is going to be the same kind of situation. Let's actually jump over to Vision 4. So they do send the Sentinel over here, and they're like, so they're not on that camp. They could be on our camp. They're probably on boss. So let's push up this lane a little bit further. They could actually go for the steal onto the gillyShark camp. I wonder how many stacks does Falstead have? 47. I think it's 20 per 1. So they do have 2 stacks currently. So they will at least be able to get another 10% on that lightning rod if they do want to go into that. And so they have 45% increased damage from that lightning rod. Whew. Boss going to be pushing in through the top lane. They have boss in bottom lane. Camp going to be coming in through mid as well. Let's see if gillyShark are able to make this defense in top. Seems like the members of RewinD aren't too concerned with any sort of boss in the bottom lane, as this is going to be Misha having to back up a little bit. They've got a great wave coming in here as well. One of the Reaver minions will be up as well, as the Misha Bear will be getting picked off. Jinxie Cat in a bit of a rough spot. The Power Slide gets them right out of there. Flailing Swipe forces a couple members back, but as I said, they're going for that top lane keep, and with the boss this late in the game, it's going to be very, very powerful. The core is actually going to be clearing out mid lane right now, taking a little bit of damage, and the members of gillyShark looking for the clear onto this, but they're not going to be able to... Excuse me. The members of RewinD won't be able to end it, but it's such a rough spot. They won't be able to save their top lane keep. Bottom lane's all they got left, as I noted before. 20 armor, 20 spell armor. gillyShark really can't give this over. Let's see how they're going to be able to deal with this right now. We do see a lot of damage going onto Fade. That's a lot of control going on to them as well. They actually get this juke on them, the speed boost right out of there. We do have Falstead with the flight in, but there's going to be no Gust utilized right there. We do have Kymo Trips and Zergy Monster. No one going for the channel onto that. So if a hero goes for the channel onto the objective, it does counter the time or contest the time, meaning that it won't continue further on. If a Jailer, these little units around here on either side, if they go for the channel, that doesn't contest the time, but they can actually get the reverse channel, so it's not like a team can just get wiped and then the other team can just go rush boss. Like, someone has to sit the objective a little bit. Oh, okay. Sorry, I saw the sentence, I don't agree, and I'm like, was it something I said? And then I skimmed further up, I'm like, okay, we're talking about talents in chat, which is good. That's good. I'm glad we're having a healthy discussion about what players are doing and what they're choosing. Just keep it healthy. We're here to have fun. Everybody's right, because everyone's right within their own section of games. Like, and I said, like, if I were to tell you how to play a gold game and you're a master player, you'd be like, that makes no sense. And it's like, well, this is what we do in gold. This is why we stay here. I actually made it to platinum this season, so I'm very proud of myself. But it's 20 to 19 in our levels. We'll check out those 20 talent tiers in just a second. They're going for the channel onto this. Can the members of gillyShark make their way into this Falstead with the wind tunnel as well, forcing them into this corner? And they actually go for a huge mosh pit onto a couple players. Wailing Arrow to follow out as well. They're going to be diving in. That's going to be the kill onto Tyrande. Can they find themselves another one? The Jinxie Cat a little bit low. That's going to be Tyrael in the backline trying to force the fight onto them, as this is a little bit of a split right now. Fade gets the juke once again, and Chesler looking a little bit low right there. Jinxie Cat is going to be able to get right out of there, and that is going to be a 1-for-1 trade as the Greymane goes down right there. Misha going to be trying to work their way out, but Sylvanas gets picked off as well. Does the Bear. Objective going to be barreling in through these lanes as mid will be cleared out. It will be stalled out a little bit, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal, as you can see the members of RewinD moving in through the bottom lane as the keep went down there. Noting once again, just if you're new to this map or you haven't seen this before, the spell armor and the physical armor are now 0 due to the fact that there are no keeps up and available for the defense. RewinD forcing in to this bottom lane. Can they end with their 20 talent tier advantage? Well, I guess it's 20 to 20 when it comes to total talent tiers, but this core is currently getting shredded. They almost get the kill onto Fade. Misha is going to be stepping further forward. They're going for the kill, but that's going to be the flailing swipe. The core is starting to fall pretty rapidly. Falstead with the wind tunnel, forcing them into this corner right now. Flailing swipe to force them back a little bit, but there's 3 objectives onto the center of the map, and that is going to be game number 1 going over to the members of RewinD. GG. Well played. Great wind tunnel. There was a lot of good wind tunnels there. Like, I don't see many teams going for wind tunnel, and that got so much value for them in that game. I just want to check out the 20 talents because we didn't get a chance to look at those. So we had Execute from the Raynor, wind tunnel for the Falstead, Shooting Star for the Tyrande, Death's Advance for the Arthas. So this is just oh my god, I'm forgetting what it is. What was the old activatable? Like Kerrigan had it, Tyrande had it. Like it was a speed boost that you could press. What was that called? Huh. Hunter's Blunderbuss. We're gonna be having Kill Command, Bolt of the Storm for Sylvanas, and Death Metal for the ETC. Let's go ahead and show the stats. I already know what map we're gonna be getting into here in just a second, but I just want to update you on all this beautiful background information while I do all of my background stuff. Yes? Okay, cool. Righty, that team won that one. This team wants to grab this for this map, so we'll do that. All right, let's show talents once again, and then we'll get going into game number 2 in just a second. GG's indeed. Whew. Thank you, everyone. I really do appreciate all the support this evening. Thank you so much for the subs. If you do want to support the channel and you are interested in getting yourself a sub, oh man, there are bears. There's bears outside. If he's sitting this much by the door, there's a bear outside. All right, let's get a custom game. Let's do a Tomb of Spider Queen. But it is September, and so if you do want to support the channel, it is the cheapest time to be able to do that, and you can get yourself some fancy little emotes as well and get yourself a nice little gilded beard. That is my horrible spot for you should sub during September. But yeah, if you are enjoying the stream and this is your first time here, welcome. I do a lot of casting here on my channel, typically Monday through Thursday. I think that schedule is going to change a little bit because the TESPA Collegiate Series is starting up this weekend. And so that kind of eats up a lot of time on my Sunday, and I get really tired. And then Monday rolls around, I'm like, I just wanna hang out and like not do anything. Misha's attacking. Hey, Bandit Bud, what are you doing? What you doing, bud? Is it too hot in here for you? I mean, I'm wearing a sweater. Alrighty, we'll get them in here in just a second. Thank you, Bandit, for coming back. Let me also update the team scores. Right? And then we'll get teams in here, and then we'll get going into game number 2. Sorry, I had the wrong team for for first pick. There was actually, like 2 Fridays ago, I finished casting over on the Underlords channel, and I went to go let Bandit outside, and he was just like, and then I was like gonna go to the bar afterwards, and he was just like staring outside, like up at the sky, and I'm like, he never really does that, and then I looked up, and there was a bear like 80 feet up in the tree. Like, it was a big boy climbed up there, and then, my neighbors last weekend were telling me that I think the same bear was out on the street because there's like a fruit tree in between. So there's the guy who's like I guess there's a plot of land. There's the conservatory owns for like where the bears usually go and sleep and stuff. And then there's like a house right after that. And then in between them and another house, there's like a fruit tree. And they were out sitting there one night on a guy who lives across the street, and they could see into that like front yard area, and the bear just like came and just ripped down branches and then just kind of like laid on its stomach and just like was just eating the fruit off the tree or off the branch that it ripped off. It's nuts. Like it's fun living in a forest, but you gotta kind of keep your eyes peeled in a sense. Like don't go walking through the meadow right now because there's a lot of bears and they're probably sleeping. Don't go for walks at like 6 a.m. because you'll probably see a coyote. Or a lot of coyotes. Cool. Alrighty, everybody. Let's go ahead and get into this. We are going into game number 2. Final destination, no items. Sorry, I should have pushed buttons, but I didn't. Let's get in. Welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. I'm your caster, Bahamut. On the left-hand side, we got the members of RewinD up 1 game in our best of 3 series, and on the right is going to be gillyShark trying to take us to a game 3 as they have chosen to take us to Tomb of Spider Queen. If you're sitting at home and you're like, but wait, why Tomb of Spider Queen? How did RewinD win first game? I got you. The home team, RewinD, lost the coin flip. Somehow, some way, I guess by default is winning in a sense. gillyShark won the coin flip. They opted for first pick and banned out Towers of Doom and Battlefield of Eternity. RewinD banned out Cursed Hollow and Sky Temple. Alterac Pass was the first map chosen by the members of RewinD, and they won that. Members of gillyShark have opted for map pick priority in game number 2 and have chosen to take us to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Let's go ahead and jump on back to our draft and see how this is going to be unfolding now. As Sylvanas will be banned out by the members of gillyShark and a Junkrat once again. Tyke is going to be removed here. Cho'Gall. It's a Cho'Gall, right? That's the only reason you'd ever ban out a Tychus. It's Cho'Gall. Please. Give this to me. One team. One team this season. First pick Joanna on the side of RewinD, and that makes a lot of sense. On a map like this where you're going to be doing heavy rotations between top and mid, you're going to want to group up those minions together and be able to then get the faster clear onto them. Things like Gul'dan, Kael'thas, Jaina are all strong mages on this map because of the fact that Joanna groups them. Kael'thas, Gul'dan, Jaina, all of them can dump an AoE damage and get a fast clear onto that. Tyrande Diablo, though, a 1-2 snap for the members of gillyShark. That's a synergy that you're really building together. You have the dive in from Diablo, you have so that's 1 stun. If you get the Shadow Charge into a wall, then you get the Overpower, so you have the 2nd stun, then you have the follow-up Lunar Flare. Meanwhile, you want to get something that dives with that and try to blow it up. They could try and deny the Greymane here on the side of RewinD, because I would say Diablo, Tyrande, Greymane is a great synergy, but we do have a ban phase coming up, so they're going to go for the Anduin and the Raynor. They're going to go for sustained damage, and they're going to pick up their healing as well. Strong core so far coming out from the members of RewinD as we get into our second ban phase, and this will be, they need a mage, they need some sort of wave clear, so maybe something like a Jaina, if they don't plan to take a Jaina themselves, because Jaina does synergize once again with Diablo Tyrande, you have the Ring of Frost or even Water Elemental for the Lightning Breath to be able to get that sustained damage out. But they're going to go for the Kael'thas ban, kind of showing the fact that they're going to be leaning into this Jaina, I do think. Fun fact, bears can smell blood from a mile away, so dress your wounds before you go out. They're natural scavengers. Oh, now I get it. So, the other thing, too, to note, most of the bears up here are, like, terrified of people, because we live in, like, a pretty bustling area for a mountain town. So, like, there was no joke, like, there was a morning when, like, I walked up near a bear, and we noticed each other at the same time, and it bolted down the street away from me. Now, I've been hearing that there's a bear that charges people this year because it's a very aggressive adolescent, but we'll see. I'm not too sure about that. Knock on wood, I don't have to deal with that. But there's the Jaina and Leoric for the members of gillyShark. Really strong solo lane as well as that wave clear. Thrall and Yrel will be picked up on the left-hand side. So Yrel into Leoric. We'll see how that matchup works out. Typically, percentage-based damage into Yrel is a little bit of a difficulty for her. But she is also able to manage a little bit of that lane with some CC of her own with the Righteous Hammer to force back anyone trying to step further forward onto them. We'll see if that value will be exactly what they're needing on the side of RewinD. But this will be a Hanzo to round up the draft on the side of gillyShark. So I was expecting a Greymane here for some more blow up and some more dive, but they're going to go for a little bit of that range poke, a little bit of range damage, also some synergies with the Dragon Strike as well. Dragon Arrow as well. I always do that. Dragon Strike summons a giant dragon, and Dragon Arrow stuns a lot of people. What? Tychus is really strong on this patch, I think. He is, but he's hard countered by Joe. Oh, okay. That makes sense then. Okay. I was like, I rarely see Tychus bans. I feel like I'm only seeing them when teams like Dragonshire and things like that. Volskaya Foundry as well. Greymaine's banned. Thank you so much, Ramadi. I'm very good at casting. Oh, no. All the doggos are allowed. Right? All the dogs are allowed. I just realized it's Tuesday and I have my taco cup. All right, we have a game. Let's go ahead and jump on into this. On the left-hand side, we got the members of RewinD up one game in our best-of-3 series. We're going to have Chaotic on the Thrall. Who do you think will be on the Anduin? Doom Elite will be on the Arel. Fade will be on the Joanna. And Ryokai going to be on the Raynor. A little bit of some role swaps there. On the right-hand side, we got the members of gillyShark down one game in our best-of-3 series, trying to take us to game number 3. We got Kage on the Hanzo. Zergi's going to be on the Leoric. Jinxie Cat will be on the Diablo. Chess Leader's going to be on the Jaina. And Kymo Tripson rounds out the team on the Tyrande. Let's go ahead and get on into... Ooh! Echo... Oh, wait, sorry. For some reason, my brain just, like, flipped the two, and I was like, Echo the Elements. And I'm like, wait, no, it's Echo the Elements. Like, this makes sense. Like... Okay, I don't know how I managed that one, but we do have Hanzo going into the Scatter Arrow build. We did see a little bit of a nerf on the Explosive Arrow at level 4, but I don't think it's enough to warrant it to be like out of like, it's just like, oh, it's only simple geometry build now. Like you only go into Scatter Arrow. I don't think it's so much that right, but we'll see what happens here in this game, as we do also see the Jaina going into the Fingers of Frost at level 1, going to be trying to pick up those regeneration globes, and as noted before, Thrall will be going into the Echo the Elements, trying to get those last hit onto minions, as Jinxie Cat gets a little bit of a shove into the wall right there, and they're anchoring for the team, but it looks like they're going to be diving onto Jinxie Cat, trying to extinguish the flame a little bit of this Lord of Terror, but they're not going to be able to. And Kymo Tripson's got some great healing for them, and they'll continue to break off into these rotations between lanes. Let's just go ahead and get our vision controller set up here as well, get an idea of what they're looking at. RewinD, I think, is grabbing a preset comp, more or less, banned out percent base damage ahead of time. You know, like, it seemed like this is kind of everything they wanted on the side of RewinD. I don't think that like anything was denied, and it's kind of the same thing for gillyShark as well. Like, I think there's a couple of things that were pretty telegraphed in what they were intending on doing, but they ended up just, they kind of got I think everything they wanted as well. This is going to be a really, really good game number 2. I'm calling at least that right now. Watch me eat my words, and it's not, but I hope it is. Dragon Strike got some buffs. It did, and I want to see more Dragon Strike games, but I don't, because Dragon Arrow is just so strong with an AoE stun, especially when you increase the duration on how far it's actually traveled across the map. Up to 2.5 seconds, I believe, is what it maxes out at. I'm just trying to jump around the map a little bit here, get an idea of what solo lane looks like, as well as the top lane rotations, trying not to miss out on any sort of these early game potential deaths, as there's just some back and forth in between these lanes, and they're looking for the, not regeneration globes, the gems right there, so they're able to get the turn in. The spider gems, there we go. Hanzo, of course, as I grab my coffee mug, goes down. First blood going to be going over in favor for the members of RewinD, and we're going to is going to continue to get out some great healing for the friendly team. And I just want to look at it very early right now. Anduin 5k healing. I mean, Leoric not too far off, which is an oddity. I mean, not really. I mean, they're going to be able to just drain health. It's just nuts right there, though. Leoric with like near 6k healing, just in the solo lane. Just like, hey, I'm just doing my own thing right now. We do continue to see rotations popping out as they're looking for the last little bit of gems. gillyShark only 9 off, and I can't do quick addition, so we're going to say not too far off for the members of RewinD as well. Look at Chaotic right now. They're going to be trying to find this flank on Zergi, who stepped a little bit further forward into that lane. They're trying to get the burst, but it's not enough, and they find themselves safe on the opposing side for the members of gillyShark, but turn availability will be here for both sides. Who's going to be able to get the first one? First turn in doesn't get a ton of value, but it's, I mean, you can still push in. I mean, if you get a couple picks here and there, you can really start to open up the lane a little bit further for yourself. More or less, I think often I do see a lot of the first web weavers for either team just kind of getting the front gate a little bit. Gotta grab those spider butts. Yo, KPB, how's it going, bud? Thanks for coming by. Cast my quick matches and I'll give you Dragon Strike. So if you join my Discord server, I have a place called Cast My Replay, and you can put anything from your quick match to your unranked to your Storm League games, or if you're a competitive team, you can give me 3 replays from a best of 3 match that you had, or a best of 5. Please give me the total replays. Don't just give me 2, assuming that I'm gonna be not pretending that I know the answer to who wins. But yeah, give me your replays. I'll cast them. We're getting into playoff time, so there's like a lot of filler time in between some of the matches if we do go for 2 live matches. So grabbing replays is always a good way to just continue the stream going instead of just us sitting here not casting games. And if you'd like to join my Discord, all the information can be found below. First turn in will be in favor for the members of RewinD, as Doomali is going to be forcing Zergy around a little bit. We do have that punish being picked up. Excuse me, Subdue is going to be picked up for the Joanna, flipping around that ability name with the talent name. No other questing talent's going to be picked up outside of the Lunar Flare. Diablo's sitting at 97 souls right now, not too far off from finishing out that total soul count, 99. I thought that there was like a 99 souls, but a something. I thought I had something there, just couldn't think of anything quick enough. But blue web weavers are out. We do see Hanzo defending top lane as they're trying to push in with this first web weaver up here. The mid lane's going to be cleared out fairly quickly, but they are going to be opening up top a little bit. And I'm a little surprised by gillyShark's decision to defend mid lane over top. Most teams, you know, you see them kind of bounce in between, but I would have thought that top lane would have been more of the major defense for them due to the fact that it is the boss lane. It's where you get a lot of a lot of potential end priority for some of these teams. As nice shadow charge into the wall, overpower going to be going out into 1. Who do you think is going to take a lot of damage? The Fire Stomp is getting so much value. These Divine Stars are getting some good healing, and Hanzo will be picked off. Jinxie Cat falling a little bit low here, gets a Fire Stomp to get a little bit of healing up, as that will be coming back in, but is it going to be enough? Oh no, the Diablo goes down, the souls are ripped. Kaimo trips and steps back out into lane. They want to make sure they pick up all those gems, because that is basically turn in and then some for the members of gillyShark that they could have lost. 41 gems, I think, were on Jinxie Cat right there. Let's actually cycle through some of the other numbers right now. Zergy Monster's gonna be in this mid lane, but they've got the Wraith Walk. They should be able to get right out of there in time. It's just like, I've played Leorix and I just don't look at minimap apparently. Either way, I'll do that kind of thing. I'm like, oh, I can Wraith Walk. I can't Wraith Walk out of this. Let's see, Leoric is going to be tanking. Oh no, so they're healing 14k damage that Leoric has been healed. Jeez. We'll look at some of the experience and some of the healing numbers in just a second here, but blue web weavers, I was gonna say red for a second there. They'll get back-to-back turn-ins here on the side of RewinD. Can gillyShark make the defense? They don't have 10 talents here just yet. They're getting close, but they also will be picking up their bruiser camp on the left-hand side, as well as the members of gillyShark will be grabbing their own. I just want to see what this Leoric healing is right now. Near 15k, if we're rounding up, and doing 16.4. Oh man, this Leoric is just self-sustaining so very well here. Yo, 8S, thank you for the for gifting the tier 1 subscriptions to Romedy. Thank you so much for that support, my friend. Romedy, enjoy your Asmo pot. 99 souls, but a Nephilim mate 1. Thank you so much, Goliath. I am carried by my chat. Give Baja everything. So, thank you so much, 8S. And I hope that's an appropriate name, but that's going to be Hanzo with 1 stun right there. The lightning breath coming out from the Diablo as well. They're starting to turn this around. Fade taking a lot of, Fade gonna be stepping forward with a lot of damage as Jaina goes down. They get the light bomb out onto Fade as well. They're not gonna be using any sort of falling sword with that one, and they find a Diablo on top of it. 3 for none trade. Webweaver is gonna be stepping further farther forward in the lanes. There we go. And they'll have their 13s in just a second. Fade comes up here to make sure they're continuing to soak up this experience, and they should be able to confirm the keep in top lane. And this is a big pickup, very early game for the members of RewinD. I mean, a roughly 8-minute keep in this game on Tomb of Spider Queen. You're opening up a lot of avenues for yourself. And can they punish this on the side of gillyShark? They're trying to do something with this, but unfortunately, they lose the keep, and the Webweaver goes down right at the end of that. That's a rough go on the side of gillyShark as RewinD is rotating around this map and just controlling it so very well. Thank you for everything you do for the Heroes community. We need you. Hey, thank you. Seriously, thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for being here. Like, that's all I could ask you. Thank you, Romedy, for being the badass you are. Romedy, Romdog is, if you don't know who he is, you best go follow that boy. But seriously, thank you again for the gifted sub. I really appreciate it so much. I don't deserve all your love, and you all come here and you watch these games and cheer on these teams and you support the channel, and more or less you buy bark boxes for Bandit. So thank you all. We also, by the way, I got an email today. I got charged for the next bark box, so that should be coming fairly soon for us, and we'll figure out a stream for that. Obviously, I'll announce it. I think I'm gonna try and announce it like a week ahead of time, so that way we all know. But it's a huge arrow from Hanzo. They're not gonna be able to follow up onto Fade, and it just I think the motif of this entire matchup between these two teams is, oh my god, they almost got a kill on the side of gillyShark. Because a lot of these players are getting away with just a hair of health or just a little bit. The Orc with the Entomb, but it's going to more or less block the friendly team. They do drop it right there. Red Webweaver is going to be coming down in favor for gillyShark, but they do not have their 13 talent tiers. So they're going to have to play this a little bit slower, a little bit safer. Some notes really quickly. Jaina's sitting at 8,000 out of the 15,000 for the Frostbite. That is going to be for basically their ice block. They do have the Fingers of Frost done, so they do have that 10% increased damage. We do have the Echo the Elements finish for that Thrall. Trying to sitting at 4 out of the 20 stacks for the Lunar Blaze. No Subdue has been finished by the Johanna just yet. Diablo sitting at 74 souls, and I do believe that covers all of our questing talents. This 13 talent tier is going to be just out of reach for gillyShark. We'll see if they're able to pick it up during this push phase, but actually, what does the gem count look like? That's gonna be... I think gillyShark might have it, or they might just be off from it. We don't know just yet because we have the thing disappears for us, but we'll see. Try to do some quick math right there. Bahamut actually does deserve nice things. Thank you. Thank you, Adas. Thank you so much for that. Blessed Shield does go out right there. They're going to get the slow onto a couple, but Jaina goes down immediately. That will be the Hanzo Dragon Arrow out as well, and Fade is going to be stepping further forward as the Earthquake came out. That is going to be Turnin. I think Turnin might have been available, but they lost their Jaina. Kaimo Tripson not going to be able to live through this, and they lose 20-some gems. That's Doom Elite stepping further forward. Righteous Hammer to throw them back, but Doom Elite is... the entire friendly team is like, hey, we're going to go turn in, so you need to pop Ardent Defender and get yourself out of there, because we're... Oh, actually, no, we're going to be going for boss... Yeah, they're trying to end right here on the side of RewinD. They're going for boss turn-in, so what we're going to be starting to see here as the boss gets lower and lower is they should be cycling members out to go for the turn-in, but actually with the members of gillyShark kind of floating around here, even though they lost one, they're denying at least that synergy, so they might be able to deny the turn-in with the boss. Chest looter back up here. Can they get something? Fate is just absorbed. Oh, the leap of faith is not going to be enough, but they end up sacrificing themselves, and that will be the boss being picked up. Can they go for the turn-in? gillyShark might be a little too distracted with the boss right there, so we're gonna get the vision for the members of gillyShark. They are gonna see a couple members coming down over here. They know that they're gonna be going for that turn-in. Sentinel coming out from Kaimo Tripson, and this will be Blue Web Weaver's gonna be turned in, and they'll be able to stack that in after the boss goes down. But I don't know if they're gonna be going for. Are they gonna try and end right there? Oh, they're gonna try and tag this camp as well. That's why I was like, Thrall, why aren't you going for the turn? And then you keep just touching and then letting go. Yeah, Chaotic is going to be waiting for the Bruiser camp to be burned through a little bit. Ooh, they're going to be going for Siege Giants as well through bottom lane. I heard you're casting Tespa again. Excited to have you cast more games. Hopefully you'll see you win this time. Hopefully you'll see me win this time. The Hammer, thank you for coming by. I'm very, very excited. I'm so excited to be doing Tespa again. Like, you have no idea. I was so ecstatic when they asked me about it. I was like, yeah, like they're like, what's your availability? And I'm just like, just yes. My availability is yes. Boss turn in his game? It could be. Selexia, thank you so much for the 69 bits. Typically on Tomb of the Spider Queen, what a lot of players end up doing and a lot of teams end up doing is they go for boss turn in together. The siege potential from the boss and the Web Weaver at the same time is a little bit difficult to deal with, and then with the team sometimes having an advantage, like for example 16 talent tier advantage, they're going to be able to step further forward and be more aggressive. Now, this is going to be RewinD taking this a little bit slower right now. They do have everyone up and available. You saw on the minimap that Johanna was going for a flank that entire time. They were sitting up in this top bush, and I think they were going to wait for gillyShark if they tried to aggress further forward into the lane, but this might have been a very aggressive rotation coming out from gillyShark right into this lane. They don't have any sort of spell armors. They're going to be able to get behind their front gate, but Zergy Monster taking quite a bit of damage. This will be the wave clear as best as they can, but top lane's already stepping up onto the core. They need to deal with that, but there's also this mid lane pressure coming in. The members of gillyShark are getting a little bit split right here, as that also will be 16 talent here in favor for the members of RewinD. Can they make any sort of fight happen here? Ooh, they can save the... Oh, wow, that's a huge entomb, but can they find anything on top of it? That's going to be Light Bomb as well. Hanzo with the arrow as well. That is also going to be Jaina going down. They find the Joanna. 1-for-1 trade. Zergy Monster will be picked off. That's going to just be a 2-for-1. Can they find another? Jinxie Cat gets picked off as well. Souls will be reset on that Diablo. So many gems just fell on the side of gillyShark, and that will be a fully... 0 soul Diablo coming back, and that is going to be game going over to the members of RewinD. GG. Well played. Good play by both these teams here. I agree. RewinD coming out strong this evening. Let me check something really quickly. GG's indeed. Bum 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 bum. Hey, stream, do we grab another game? There's a game at 8 o'clock, so it's 10 minutes from now. Did we try and grab this other game from Division A? Siege, thanks for joining the server. Okay. Sorry, I'm just checking to see. There's a lot of pings right now, and I'm making sure that none of them are for me specifically. Okay. Okay. That was a really good game. All right, let's go ahead and try and get ourselves an interview really quickly. Where are you? I'll actually scroll right here. The answer is yes, always yes. I didn't look at okay, cool. At few loose screws versus at team Happy Cloud. Did you start yet? I'm live and can test your match. All right, let's see if they responded. Okay, cool. If the other game is taken, you can cast this for hero type. I don't think they'll let me do it, unfortunately, John Knight. All right, at this time, we're going to be joined by Chaotic Order. How you doing, bud? Congratulations on your 2-0 victory.
Hello, thanks so much. Yeah, those were two really good games, so GG's to gillyShark for that.
That was such a fun matchup, and I'm super excited to see you all take that game. And that's your last one for regulation season play, is it not? Or do you have another game coming up later this week?
No, so that's our last one, and I think that was a battle for first seed.
Yes.
So because we won this, I believe we're now first seed. So
yeah, because I think that there was like a no joke, there was like a 1 map difference between your two. Like I had it open earlier. Let me see if I can load it up really quickly. Like, yeah, there's gillyShark had 21 games won, and you have 20. That's the literal only difference between your two teams. Right. So it's a 1 point difference.
Yeah, I think like this entire season, gillyShark has been like a very great team, and we've just tried to get to their level as well, and I'm just happy to know that like we're definitely at that level and maybe even beyond it, I guess. I do think
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say they're a great team. Oh, I'm gonna do that thing, but I was gonna say I agree. They're a great team, but it was really fun to actually watch you kind of take it to them. That's a lot of teams haven't really done the aggressive plays that you did this game. Going into the playoffs, are you excited? Are you nervous to be going into that team? Do you think they'll be a different team, or is this kind of what you're expecting from them in the playoffs?
No, we definitely expect like a lot. Like we're of course going to treat them with all the respect they deserve. Obviously they didn't have veggies and start for this game, and we were expecting like something a little bit different because of that. So I think that with them in the roster as well, like maybe it'll be like an entirely different set, but we're just going to prepare for them as much as we ever have.
It was, yeah, I'm so excited about the playoffs. Like, I thought they started today, and I was like, this is going to be such a good matchup. Our first and second seeds starting out the entire playoffs together. How is this even possible? Usually they're on different parts of the bracket, but yeah, no, I was just super, super pumped about it. But that will be happening sometime later. But, you know, these games were so much fun. On Tomb of the Spider Queen, a map where you guys seem to have full control, was it just continuing to communicate properly and make the right calls, or did it just feel like the game was in your momentum and was in your favor consistently?
So I think the moment that the game was decided in our favor was in draft when Johanna was not banned, and then we picked Johanna and the game was over, basically. Johanna is just such an insane hero on that map that we just love playing her there. She just has so much wave clear, it's great.
Yeah, her setup on a map like this, and almost any map, is just so insanely powerful. But before I let you go, first off, I hear that you're going to be playing in the TESPA Collegiate Series.
Yes, that's correct. Well, I specifically will be, but I don't think the rest of my team will be because none of them go to Northeastern University. But yeah.
Okay. I was gonna ask you what's the university again, because I couldn't remember, and so now I'm writing it down so that way I can bug production about it to try and get us some games on stream of your team. But that's the hopeful, exciting thing. Now, before I let you go, any shouts that you'd like to give? The floor is all yours.
Sure. Shoutouts to the rest of my team. They played absolutely fantastic. Shout out to Rio for doing some insane amounts of drafting. I think he put a lot of time into that, so good job there. Shout out to Chaotic Bot for ruining my KDA, but I'm sure it was fine. And yeah, that's about all I got. GG's. Oh wait, shout out to you. Thank you so much for casting it. I can't wait to watch the VOD.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Thank you so much for the games, and sorry for the short interview, but I was typing to another team, and I'm like, they start at 8 o'clock. Like, we can get another game in here, so that's exactly what we're going to be doing. But thank you so much for the interview. I can't wait to see you further down in the playoffs to see what you're able to do in season number 7. But have a great night, and thank you again for the interview.